Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to make a quick video here on, I got this Chevy 350 laying around. I can explain what most of the parts are. Okay, so this is a small block Chevy V8 350. And let's see here, where do I start? It's a V because this is a V. It's an 8-cylinder because it has 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cylinders. You can tell the 350 real easy with the heads off by this gap right here. In a 305, it's going to be about that big. It's going to be a lot, the walls are going to be a lot thicker. You'll notice a big difference. But anyway, this is where the lifter goes. I don't have a lifter out. Timing chain cover. Now, right where that circle is right there, the cam, which I'll show you what that is in a minute, the cam goes straight in here and pushes the lifters on the lobes. The balancer goes down here, and the timing chain goes in here. It's a big gear here, little gear here, and then a chain around it. The fuel pump goes in here. There's a little push rod in there that rides up and down on the cam. Okay, so this is where the transmission bolts to. It's very easy to notice the difference of a Chevy bell housing. Okay, so this is the block. And this would be a short block if you were buying this at a like a machine shop. They would sell you this would be the short block. So if you have good heads, which are right here, these are what the heads look like off. So if you know you have good heads, then you can buy just a short block and then put your heads on it. But this is the cam, and these are the lobes on the cam. And what they do when this spins, the lobes push the lifters. Now the lifters drop down in there. I'll show you what they look like if I can get to them in a minute. These are what the cam bearing sits on in the block. And then they have oil holes in them. So in a lot of the, I think the 6.0s, but I think it's the 6.2s that the cam bearings are going bad on them all. It's because of that, this right here, where it goes into the block. I wish I had that timing chain cover off so that I could show you what that looks like. But these are the valves. Intake and exhaust, I think. Let's see here. These are the rocker arms, and this is the valve right here. I have another video of how to change the valve springs in there, because where they meet down there, they have to have a seal so that the oil, because oil runs up here. Oil runs up and down here. So the one other thing is, oh, here's a lifter right here. This sits down in the block, and this flat bottom part right here rolls on the cam. So as the cam spins, it picks this up. It pushes this up. When it pushes this up, it pushes the push rods. And it looks like oh, yeah, they're at the bottom. These are push rods. So what these do is they ride in the hole in that lifter, just like this. And when the head's on here, it comes up through the head right here. And there's a, this is backwards, there's a, see that ball right there? The push rod goes on the other side. It'll go like that. See, it'll sit like that. And then as it comes up the gear, it pushes this open. Intake and exhaust valve. That's the intake manifold and carburetor, of course. These are a bucket of parts. This is what a single roller timing chain looks like right here. I won't put this one back on. And a lot of these, let's see if I have that other one over here or not. But a lot of these are covered in plastic. So I used to have one over here that the plastic wore off. I think when that fell down, and landed on my pickup truck. It broke, but a lot of these have plastic to make them quieter, wrapped in plastic, and the plastic wears off, and it looks like a yellow material. Sometimes you'll find that in your oil pan. Let's see here. I got another timing chain gear right there, but that's a regular timing chain. A double roller timing chain has let me look through here. It's like double wide. It's a radiator, nice aluminum radiator. It's the new cam and lifters. Gasket set. I'll show you what a head gasket is. Okay, this is going to be a double roller timing chain. See how there's, let me just get this over. There we go. See how there's two sets of teeth and a gap in the middle? This is a double roller timing chain. This one works a lot better because it has a lot more contact in the way it goes. And when you reassemble this in the motor, it's got a couple of ways that you set it. That mark right there, matches. There'll be another mark right here. So you'll have these two together. This rides on the crank, this rides on the cam. This is a double roller timing chain. And a head gasket is exactly what that sounds like. The head gasket goes between the head and the block. So now when you're doing a motor, it's real tough because the stopping point, you just have to draw your line and go from there. Because, so this is a head gasket, and I'm not too familiar with a lot of the like different kinds and stuff. I've never had just a plain metal head gasket like this. There's no other things on it. So what the head gasket does is it goes right on here. After this is all cleaned up, of course. This is not the way this is supposed to go back together. But that's the head gasket. So what'll happen is like rust. I had one somewhere. I'll have to see if I can think about where it is. I can show you a bad head gasket. But what it'll do is this stuff will actually deteriorate. And that's a water passage right there. See how that's raised? And this is the combustion chamber. So what'll happen is like that'll crack or wear or rust or something. That's why it's very important to put the proper coolant and everything in your engine that manufacturer specs. I hear a chipmunk. He's out there somewhere playing in the bushes. But what'll happen is your coolant will then come into the inside of the combustion chamber. Once that happens, you have to pull the head off like that and check it to make sure that it's flat on the other side. That this has to be completely, absolutely 100% flat from top to bottom, front to back, exactly flat. That little gasket goes in there, and you can buy different thicknesses of gaskets and stuff, but I don't get into all that. And then this has to be extremely flat too. I mean, you can't obviously see it with a naked eye, but even just looking at it like that, you can see how exactly flat that is, right? Well, what you do is you take a straight edge and you put it along there, and you try to put something in between there. If you don't have feeler gauges, try a piece of paper. Try a good old piece of paper right there. Let me see if I can find that other head gasket. I thought I just saw it. Oh, right here. This is a bad head gasket. Okay. See how that's deteriorated right there? Let me see if I can find where this one, I think this one was bad right up here. I think that's what happened right there. See that gap? That's not supposed to be there. So what happened was the coolant went into the head. And see how this is all deteriorated? But this has more than one layer to it. This is an expensive, a better gasket. See how it's got that ring that compresses around there? I don't know if this is a better one or not. I got to do some homework. I guess I didn't check enough when I got this gasket. But see that other gasket. This might work. But this is a flex plate. What can happen on these happened on this. What happens on the flex plate is, see that crack right there? That's meant to flex when it runs. Like, obviously not that much, back and forth. But if this flexes back and forth, you can actually hear it sounds like a knocking in the engine. Okay, let's see here. Okay, well, that concludes this, and this is an engine stand. So later on, I'll take the oil pan off and show you guys a little more about what that is. But this is the components of a Chevy small block engine. A lot of them are the same. You know, a small block Ford looks real similar to that. They all have pistons and cranks and cams and stuff. So, well, let me go with that. Hopefully you guys watch this to the end. Let me know. Please give me a thumbs up. I like to try to give the content that you guys need. We just got done doing the brakes on that. I made a video on that. There's the inner and outer rocker panels for that truck. I'm going to put those on there. I'm going to show you guys how to make some pretty cool rides. I just got to make, these are cab corners for that truck. They're all metal. I'm trying to show you the right way of doing this. Well, the way I know is the right way. Okay? Like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Tell me something. Tell me how many motors you guys have rebuilt and any problems you've had. All right, got to go. It's lunchtime.